Well, this is kind of whack, isn't it? Let's talk a little bit about the U18's and the potential World Championships that are going to be going on, or at least they might not be going on, later this year. Because take a look at this article over here from blick.ch. This article, I believe it's in German, but because I cannot read German, we will run this through the Google machine and then we will have this actually translated. This is an article here from an interview with René Fasel, who, from the title of the article, says is the IIHF's boss. Now, if I Google René Fasel and actually take a look at what he does, he is the president of the IIHF right now, according to Wikipedia. So, let's take a look at some of these quotes over here, talking about political intervention in the U18's and the World Championships and all that stuff. Because this is something that we do need to talk about here today. The interviewer asks, the World Cup in Switzerland will start on May 8th. Or is it not going to start there? No, obviously this question and these answers are going to be from Google Translate, so it's not going to be 100% accurate, but this is what the president of the IIHF says. We are in close contact with the organizers and are going to try to analyze the situation. We'll wait until March 15th to see how this pandemic, obviously talking about the virus, develops. After that, maybe we can say more. The IIHF Medical Committee is currently meeting in Budapest, so it will probably be decided that in a first step, all international tournaments in March and all U18 events will be cancelled. So, that doesn't mean it's set in stone, it doesn't mean that it's going to 100% happen, but just from the way things are trending, the meetings that are going to go on, and the current pandemic that we have over there in Asia, the probabilities are looking to be heading in the wrong direction, and it looks like we might not be seeing the U18's or the Hockey World Championships later in the year. Now, there are a few reasons as to why they actually would want to cancel it. Obviously, the big one is the virus floating around, and the idea is they wouldn't want to put so many people in close proximity that could eventually potentially spread that virus around, depending on if people do have it and do come into contact with the hockey games. Now, the idea was thrown out there in this interview on games of hockey that are played without any spectators. Ghost games is what they're calling it. They're asking on whether or not the possibility could come where they do play these tournaments, but there's just nobody watching. And the IIHF president says there won't be a world championship with ghost games. In my view, that doesn't make any sense. But from now, just from the rest of this article, a political decision does need to be made in order to cancel these tournaments for medical concerns, and it doesn't have anything to do with financial or insurance issues, at least according to what these quotes are saying. So, just keep your eyes out for that. We might not be able to see the U18's this year, we might not be able to see the Byfields, the Raymonds, the top prospects in the 2020 NHL Draft, the Jamie Drysdales, the guys like the Holtz's and all that stuff. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to see those guys at the U18 stage if they do indeed decide to cancel it. So that definitely will give a big hit to the scouting community and the overall body of work that scouts put into these drafting reports, but hey man, so be it. If they're going to cancel this because of a virus outbreak, then I think that's the most appropriate way to do it. In fact, there are a ton of sporting events that people are talking about do have the potential to be cancelled, and one of them is the Olympics in 2020. This is going to be weird because this one is in Tokyo, which is in Japan, which does have its fair share of ties to the coronavirus. There's already been a death in Japan, I believe. Don't quote me on that, I'm no journalist here, or at least I'm no official journalist, but just from the way things are going down, it looks like there could be a whole bunch of cancellations of sporting events and other things just from this one thing, and that really does suck how much of a big grasp these things can take over the world. But yeah, that kind of wraps up the video, I guess. Hope you enjoyed this video. Social Post 99. and bye.